I was already surprised by the different areas, the different neighborhoods, the sense of history in the city. A lot of young people here in the city, which is something, if you come from Northern Europe, it's something you don't see so often. It's really something that surprises me, and it's great. I came here, first of all, because the quality of Kosovo film is very good. And I think what you can see is that the result of a lot of work in the past 10 years in helping filmmakers to develop good ideas, finding each other to work together, can be seen here at the festival this year, because it's just amazing how many good films are being made. So for me at the moment in Europe, and I work with a lot of European countries, Kosovo is one of the best countries right now making very, very good films. I have a few films that are absolutely my favorites that I really, really love and that really impressed me and really said a lot to me about what Kosovo is today, also how much of the history of Kosovo has an impact on how Kosovo is today, about the relationship between different generations in Kosovo, about the future and the past and how it still influences a lot about what happens every day here. I believe so. Yeah, I think with the films that Kosovo has at the moment, and also films that I know that are being shot and that are being developed right now, I think a film from Kosovo absolutely has the chance to be and to stay, because it's actually already happening, in the competitions of the big international film festivals, to win big awards. I think there's absolutely a chance of that happening. Yeah, and I hope it will happen, because I think it's worth it. It's good. I think that other people also discover films from Kosovo, and that it's always easier when films win awards. So that hopefully will happen soon. I think it's always important to find people that you can make the films with, because films can only be made in a group of people. There's nobody who really can make a film on their own. I think many young people should find people they feel they can tell a story with, whether it's a producer who helps making the film a reality, or a cinematographer who makes sure that the film looks the way they want to look it, actors, of course, production designers. It's a bit underestimated, but I think it's a crucial decision, and it's something to really work on. And sometimes it takes a few years to find those people. I think secondly, it's very important not to compare what you want to do with what other people have done before. It's good to have inspiration. It's good to watch a lot of films and understand what is possible with film, but don't copy films that have been made already, or don't think you have to make a film that has been successful already to be successful yourself. I think if you really look to the story that you think is very important for other people to see, then focus on the quality of how you tell that story with all that people around you, and make something that's original and make something that is important for you to tell. First of all, that European cinema should be made by more different people in Europe. I think there should be more female filmmakers that we need to support to make films. And we should not say, yeah, but there is not a lot of filmmakers, women filmmakers around, so we cannot support them. There's a reason there's a lot of female filmmakers, because we don't support them. I think that's something to change and help women to build a career in film as well. I think it also applies to people belonging to minorities that don't have so much possibilities, or just find it harder to find money or support for their films. I think another thing is that there's a lack of, I would say, pride of European films. Very often films or awards in Europe are compared to how the Americans do it, or how visible American films are, because there's huge budgets for marketing involved. In Europe that's a different thing, we have different budgets, but the quality of films in Europe is as good and sometimes even better, I would say, than American films. And I think a problem or challenge for European film is that we need to, I think, create an awareness and a pride for European film that that is not big enough, and it should become bigger. We're living in an interesting time. all over Europe. In every country it's the same at the moment, which is that if we talk about cinema, we are not just talking about the place where films are being seen, which is a film theater or a cinema. Well, we are sort of coming back to the fact that cinema is great films, but great films can be seen in a cinema and in a film theater, but increasingly people would like to see films somewhere else as well. That's not always easy for many people in the film industry to accept and to adapt their way of working and screening films. But I think in the end we will have to also pay attention to people that watch the films, and if people watching films say, listen, yes, I would like to go to the cinema, but I would also like to see films at home on the couch or in a different event. I think the main importance is that films and European cinema can be seen by audiences. And I think we should always offer the most possibilities of watching films, not only at home. That would be a pity, and I think cinemas are extremely important. But European cinema and cinema in general is in a moment of changing where films are being seen, and also how films are being made, how they're being financed, who is the main partner in films, and that also includes new partners like streaming platforms. I think it's important to defend the quality of films. I think it's important to defend the stories that are being told in films, and that films have a quality and are well made and not simple. I think that is the main thing to fight for, and obviously also the fact that cinema should stay open, because I think, as said, cinemas are a fantastic place to watch films, but not the only place, and I think that is something that in the future years we'll see that changing more and more. I see the future of cinema actually quite positive, because I do believe that cinema has the capacity to inspire, to make people discover, to make people see the world in a different way. That's an incredibly powerful characteristic of cinema, and I think it's something that many people know and are aware of. And that is something also that applies for European cinema. I think it's a power that we should use in the future. And as soon as we don't get too much distracted about who is paying for the film, where is the film shown, who is the people who are deciding if a film is good enough or not. If we focus on the power of what cinema can actually do when you see it on a big screen, then I think cinema has a very good future. And I think there's a lot of people, including myself, who see that future and work a lot on making that future also really happen.